Full disclosure, Mercedes flew me out here to test drive these vans in Europe, which means that a lot of these European vans in America we're not going to get, and that includes the front-wheel drive Sprinter and this manual Sprinter. Every Sprinter coming to America is going to be an automatic. Nick, you gotta do the magic wipers, right?
Yeah, the magic wipers?
Yeah, you squirt, watch. It comes out of the wiper, do it, you'll see. Hasn't GM had that for like 30 years?
Yeah, right.
We've got an 85 Chevy K10 square body that does the same thing.
If you press another button, a rabbit pops out of it.
A lot of the interior has been updated to reflect today's Mercedes-Benz styling cues. There's of course a lot of room in here, panoramic view, and I suspect my favorite thing is that we're only getting automatics. Now I love shifting, but if I'm working, I don't want to be dealing with having to shift gears. It's really nice to have an automatic, especially when you're driving a very big vehicle like this. You guys are probably wondering how this drives, and it's actually surprisingly very comfy. I would say it's not that different from the outgoing Sprinter, but they certainly have improved just the overall quality, the modern feel of the interior. So there are a lot of thoughtful features they've incorporated into the new Sprinter, and probably the most interesting and the one you'll notice immediately is the fact that you now have a lot of the controls for the navigation, for your music, basically all the vehicle controls at your fingertips, either on this side or the right side of the steering wheel. So that makes for a much more modern driving experience. It does have stop-start, which is nice. This one actually even has paddle shifters. I will never use those, but in case you want to go flog a Sprinter around the Nürburgring, you can certainly do so. The ride quality is exceptional. We've got the long wheelbase here, so that gives you a plush ride. Now, there are about 200,000 vans sold in America each year, and Mercedes owns about 8% of that market. The market share leader is Ford with the Transit. This box van that I'm in is actually going to be manufactured in Charleston. They built a brand new factory there. They are building it. They should be done this summer. They used to actually take these vans, and because of the chicken tax, they would often build them in Germany, take them apart, put them in 2 containers, ship them to Charleston, where at the factory they would put them back together. But they've built a regular factory there where they actually will be building the vans and not just putting vans together that are shipped over from Europe. So let's get rid of the beans. This is of course the diesel. Be with me on this?
Sure, yeah.
This is my man, Brent from Motor Trend, Truck Trend actually.
Truck Trend, yep.
Yep, Truck Trend. So what's your call on this diesel?
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, let's keep in mind that the current Sprinter has been around, what, 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an old chassis. It's been changed, of course, in the US, right? It used to be originally a Dodge.
Yeah.
A Dodge? Yeah, it's a Dodge.
Dodge Sprinter.
Dodge Sprinter, yeah. When Mercedes owned Chrysler.
Yep.
And they're also sold under the Freightliner because Mercedes owns Freightliner.
Yeah.
And ironically, the Freightliner and the Mercedes vans are priced the same. So if you think you can get a cheaper Freightliner, you're not going to sell. It's not going to sell any cheaper. We don't know pricing. We barely know when it's going to be available. They're saying at the end of this year, maybe at the beginning of next year.
Yep. When we were chatting with some folks from Mercedes-Benz USA, they were saying that the Freightliner sells in large part because some fleets don't want to be seen driving Mercedeses. You know, like municipal government fleets, the optics don't look great when you're spending a lot of taxpayer money on a Mercedes. So they'll get the Freightliner instead, even though it's the exact same price as the Mercedes version. It just looks a little more utilitarian and a little less frivolous.
A little bit more down market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I like this van. I can't wait to really get it back in America and do a proper test. I mean, we've got some stuff they put back there, but really, you need to load this thing up and actually try, see how easy it is to put stuff into it, see what the payload capacity is, see what it tows like, right?
Yeah. How it's going to feel when you're moving an apartment across town.
Yeah. Like one of the things I noticed right now is I have a very invasive lane departure warning system. So, thank you.
Let's kill that right now.
Yeah, let's kill that. And I do like this big central display. I mean, it's really nice. And you killed it and the music came back on. Don't ask me why. But it's really well done. And this is part of MBUX, right? It's a new infotainment system that's going to be available throughout the line. I think it's available in the van. It's available in the A-Class.
Yep.
And you'll be seeing it more and more. And it is much more modern than the outgoing one.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot easier to use. I like the screen. You know, for me, some of the nicest features aren't a lot of the electronics, and this has a full suite of electronics, right? That blind spot monitoring, lane departure, but it's like thoughtful features like the 360-degree camera that lets you see all the way around the van, and I think that's huge for something like a delivery van.
Yep.
And people use these vans not just as box vans, but as passenger vans. There's also and this is a Mercedes term for it, cab chassis, not chassis cab version, right?
Yeah. Cab chassis, yes.
Cab chassis.
Sprinter cab chassis.
Yeah, which seems odd to me, but there is a chassis cab version that's also coming.
Yeah.
That you can turn into a little pickup truck or use to convert to a RV or, you know, a lot of different uses. And there's also a dually version of these that's available in the US.
Yeah.
We have been driving that, but that's going to have a better payload, I would suspect, than the regular.
Definitely. I think that's how you get in the current van, that's how you get the max payload and the max towing capacity of 7,500 pounds. So probably expect higher towing out of the dually as well.
What do you say, Mercedes?
Hey, Mercedes.
How can I help you?
Find the nearest McDonald's. Let's eat like delivery men today.
It's thinking.
Select an entry, please.
Look at that, it found it.
There we go.
Yeah, there was one that we just passed.
0 stars on Yelp. All right, good to know.
Can you say that again, please?
Cancel. So that worked.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
First of all, you have like 4 up here.
Oh, these are cup holders.
These are cup holders.
But you have,
That
you have a windshield here.
that works.
Does it still work?
Yeah.
All right.
For cups in that size, it works perfectly. And then here in those two,
Yeah.
you can get set in there. There is here a big cup holder and a smaller one next to it.
Okay.
And the big one, it works even with the big Burger King gulps.
Gulp, super
Yeah.
gulp. Because this is not going to work with
No,
the-
this is not gonna work
No,
with
that's
that.
not
But
gonna
therefore, you get one here and one over there.
So did you work on the design of the interior or exterior?
Everything.
Everything, okay.
With the team, we are responsible for the interior, for the exterior, and also not functionality, but the appearance of the user interface as well.
I like how this matches the rest of the Mercedes lineup. The air vents, those are very similar to every Mercedes.
Doesn't matter if we talk about an E-Class or about a Sprinter, we follow the same philosophy. What you can see here pretty clearly, so you see very sensual and soft and clean surfaces, but on the other hand you have this tablet which really tells you here's its intelligence. There is not as much surface tension. It's not a playful surface. But here we are focused on the functions and it works with touch and what you have experienced before. And so that shows you a little bit the 2 poles: the intelligence, function on one hand, but also the sensuality on the other.
Well, that's where the Golf Box is, right? This is what we get in the US in kilowatts. How about transmissions? Have you guys decided what transmissions?
Yes. All automatic.
All automatic?
And it's actually one-on-one pairing. So
Okay.
if you get a diesel engine, you get the 7-speed automatic, so the 7G-tronic. If you get the gasoline engine, you get the 9-speed.
Okay. These are the box vans,
Yes,
panel vans.
you're getting panel van, cargo van.
Yep.
You're getting passenger van, which is passenger van. You're not getting the buses.
Right.
Those are just Latin America. And then they can't spell cab this is. I've told them this 6 times. It's
Yeah.
misspelled.
So
you're
US
just getting the single cab.
We're getting the single.
We can slow down.
We're getting the single cab.
Yeah, you're just getting the single cab.
Are we getting the dually again?
Sorry?
Are we getting the dually?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
still getting
The dually or the super single, depending.
We only get rear-wheel drive.
You only get rear wheel and
all-wheel.
all-wheel. Exactly.
The new Sprinter will go on sale at the end of this year, and some of the models will be built in the new factory in Charleston, while others will still be built just outside of Berlin. Fuel economy should rise, according to Mercedes, about 5% better than the outgoing model, and pricing about the same, probably a little bit more. Mercedes said that it has not yet been determined, so we'll have to wait for that. As always, this is Roman. You know where to go, tfltruck.com. See you guys next time. Ciao.